Innovative content. Global audience.
Nigerians, good morning. It's another beautiful day here in the Federal Capital Territory, and we're reaching you live from our SITV studio here in Abuja. Now, this is Wake Up Nigeria, and my name is Princess KESSY. You're welcome to the show. Today, I have with me
GABRIEL. Good morning, KESSY. Good morning, Nigerians.
How are you doing, Gabriel? How was your night?
It's fine, thank you. Yours?
It was okay, but I feel like I'm cold. I don't know.
The weather.
Not really cold, but in between, you know.
It's more rainy yesterday, and today the weather is a little up. I feel Nigerians will love it when the weather is cool, but when the sun is hot, they complain. It's cool.
That is human being for you. We don't know. I used to tell people pick a struggle. Don't tell me during rainy season you're too cold. The season should come and go, and then during dry season you start complaining. Oh, where are the rains and all that? Nigeria. That is human being for you anyway. It's peculiar to everyone. Yeah. And now we have a lot of trending issues, trending stories since yesterday. We've seen the conflict in Sudan, how federal government promised yesterday to evacuate the students, and we'll see more of that story today. I hope they've done that, or they are still on the process. And we see this tussle again, throw back at each other, calling an article. That will be the
all the time.
Anyway, I used to say it every time. These are the things that usually comes with elections. After election, we see all of this. We'll move on quickly to the newspaper reviews this morning. We'll kickstart this morning with the Punch newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories making waves from the Punch newspaper this morning. Sudan conflicts. Students lament slow evacuation. Federal government to pay $1.2 million. And the rider says only 15 out of 40 buses ready on Wednesday conveyed 750 students. The second rider says minister says cost covers 19-hour journey. Security from Sudan to Cairo. Now all the stories are on page 2 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says Obi attacks INEC for defending Tinubu. Atiku claims victory. Now the story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says cash scarcity crumbled Nigeria's economy. This is coming from the UN, and that story is on page 8 as well of the Punch newspaper. We have a story here that says Tinubu speaker aspirants meet on zoning behind closed doors. That story is on page 8 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says 4,000 trucks to visit Lekki Port daily. That is coming from the TTP this morning, and that story is on page 26 of the Punch newspaper. We also have a story here that says LASG demolishes illegal buildings on Banana Island. That story is on page 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says police arraign Lagos spare parts dealer for assaulting housewife. That story is on page 4 of the Punch newspaper. Now, these are all the stories we have this morning coming from the Punch newspaper. Maybe there's a story here that caught my attention. Federal government, the Sudan conflict, student laments slow evacuation.
Yes, I think you would agree with me that in an event where there's crisis in the place, everybody's tensed. The students will expect that as citizens of Nigeria, the government of Nigeria will do as fast as it can to get them out of there, because there are bullets flying all over and the security.
And don't forget also that on Monday, the paper said that some of the headlines we read here says that federal government actually was asking them to stay indoors. So my question that it was, how can you ask people to stay indoor in a war zone?
Yes.
How would they even feel? Let's say the house is safe, the area is safe, but how would they feel? People need to go out. Yes. And then in that kind of situation, it's something we've been saying, and we cannot stop emphasizing on it, that federal government needs to respond quickly, do better, because we've seen Egypt, Tanzania, Ethiopia, other countries have gone there. They've started evacuation since last week. And then we're just starting yesterday, and we still have low, like the students are lamenting now, slow evacuation. And now, yesterday also, the headlines say federal government hires 40 buses to evacuate students. And today we're seeing that only 15 out of 40 buses ready on Wednesday. That was yesterday.
See, it tells you the value that the country has with citizens.
That is right.
You see American citizens and other countries, they've been proactive. Quickly they come in and carry bring out their citizens. And it shows you the value that our leaders and our politicians have on us as citizens. But well, we just pray and hope that with the new government coming in, we'll have something better.
And we do hope sincerely that these students, they will all be, we have about 5,500 people there. It's large. And as of yesterday, only conveyed 750 students. So out of 5,500. So we still have
the government needs
to do more.
And as fast as they can.
Yes, they need to do more. And then I also saw a story here that say LASG demolishes illegal buildings on Banana Island. I think that's a wake-up call to other people as well. I don't know whether civil engineers, they don't test. There's a way you can checkmate these buildings to know whether or not they were substandard materials were used or the soil is strong enough to carry the building.
Over time, we've seen situations where buildings get to collapse in Lagos. Now, when they say illegal buildings, we don't know if they were actually allocated illegally or the structures were built.
Yes, because we've seen that over how many weeks now we've been seeing the building collapse coming from Lake Banana Island, and the governor of the state, Sanwo-Olu, just some days ago had to give order to bring down some structures that are not. Some are not very strong. Some were uncompleted buildings. Some were already completed, and the others were not completed. They had to bring them down as well.
I think the problem is with approval of the buildings and supervision. Now, when the buildings are approved, they have to make sure that the standard of construction is followed in detail. Because when you do that, then there will be no room for cutting corners. But you find here the system of face Nigerians, you approve buildings without standard, and before you know, you have incidents of collapse.
And then you have quacks contractors as well that are not willing. Sometimes so the building owners will provide the needed money, but contractors, they want to cut corners, change you and all that. I think before people build houses, there was a time we brought in a civil engineer here also that talked about some of the factors that could lead to that. We move quickly, and then I saw this very interesting story here as well. Police are in Lagos spare part dealer for assaulting housewife. I think by the time we have things like this, people will learn to, domestic violence is something any woman shouldn't go through. So we really do hope that this will serve as a deterrent to other men as well. And then this story here that says Obi attacks INEC for defending Tinubu. Atiku claims victory.
Now, the thing is quite dicey because Obi expects that INEC is a neutral body.
Yes.
Now, election,
But INEC should be neutral, right?
Yes, they should be neutral. Now, you are not supposed to defend anybody. You're supposed to state your claims that I conducted elections free and fair. Now, what they should be defending is the areas where they're being accused of compromising or being biased. Not to say this person won free and fairly or this person, you are not supporting anybody. You have to be on the neutral stand.
That is it.
That's it.
And then also the last story here we take on coming from Punch is a cash scarcity crippled Nigerian's economy. This is coming from the UN. We saw that coming. Yes, we saw that coming. And we know that, of course, that cash policy, I feel like the policy maybe was right, but the timing was wrong. And then I really do hope that we don't have more issues moving forward. Quickly, we move on to the next newspaper this morning.
And the next newspaper is the Blueprint. The Blueprint has as the main headline, ex-lawmakers caution as Tinubu waits into NAS leadership tussle. And the rider, contestants intensify lobby. Let's guard against executive interference, Bolu. I don't have dual citizenship. Atiku tells Tinubu. The issue of citizenship has been waiting on and off between Atiku.
Yes, and Tinubu.
Yes. I bestowed Guinean citizenship on president-elect as democracy icon. Other riders of Nigeria to spend 1.2 million on citizens evacuation. I know we've heard that before in previous papers. Then Binani withdraws court void suits against INEC. And SEC urges investors to expose illegal fund managers. That story can be found on page 5. And the issue of farmer header crisis in Benue State, it's been reoccurring. Suspected headers kill 2 soldiers and 15 others in Benue. Gunmen slay 6 miners in Plateau. And you see that these issues keep reoccurring over and over and over. And
Like, I don't know, we used to say here on this show, the day we'll sit here and not talk about, see headlines of killings, people being displaced and abused, we would actually celebrate that day. I really feel for Benue, I really feel for people there, and even Kaduna, Niger, and the rest. It's so horrible, it's horrifying.
Pray we get to that day.
Yes,
And there's a
we pray
reminder
so.
again that vaccine for malaria treatment now accessible. Now this is
Good news.
good news for Nigerians because malaria has been a thorn in the flesh.
A thorn in the flesh, indeed.
We pray and hope that it's true because we see in the papers and we hear the news.
Yes, I think Ghana also did theirs first. This is the second time they are doing that. We had a doctor on 2 days ago was actually World Malaria Day, and we had a doctor here on the show that actually talked about. He spoke on some of these issues. You know, malaria is not is a killer disease, but people take people take it so lightly as if it's just malaria is nothing. Let me buy Panadol, buy this, and that is where self-medicating comes in as well. Later today, I'm going to have a doctor discussing on that issue. We move on quickly. We still have some other headlines here. We move on quickly now to the next newspaper we have, and that will be coming from this day newspaper. Now, these are some of the stories we have making waves. Again, Tinubu meets APC working National Working Committee and National Assembly members over 10th legislature's leadership. Now, that's the rider says lawmakers warn against interference in selection of principal officers, caution against zoning positions alongside executive office. President-elect to inaugurate flyover court building in Rivers. Now, all the stories are on page 4 of this day newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here coming from this day that says, Atiku, my drug-free record is reason I have been contesting polls. Obi, INEC's objection replied to my petition. Biased, embarrassing. Now that story it's on page 39 of this day newspaper. We also have a story here that says EFCC appeals as courts strike out against suit against 14 properties. 400 million linked to Yahaya Bello. Now that story is on page 42 of this day newspaper. We also have a story here that says Ilumelu Femi Otedola should be commended for investing in Transcom. Now that story is on page 39 of this day newspaper. As well, we'll have a story here that says Oando, Lagos takes delivery of Nigeria's first mass transit electric buses. And that story is on page 6 of this day newspaper. I saw a story here that caught my attention. This story here that says, and then we have a story here as well that says Sudan, federal government says evacuation of women, children to be given priority. But if you ask me at this point in time, everybody should be given priority. In a war zone, you don't say because women are vulnerable, children are vulnerable. We know that men are strong. They can have a way to try to maneuver. But I think the federal government should give priority to every citizen. And that is why I love the when we talk about the first class nation, when we talk about these people, they even if it's just one citizen, they will go all the way just to get this person out and alive as well.
You know, the way things are done, one would expect that the embassy, Nigerian embassy in Sudan, will have an idea of the number of citizens in
there.
Nigeria. So while making preparations,
this institution, are they working? Those people just go there as ambassadors, they just stay there as the envoy, and they just say, are you even sure they're working?
It entails more than just flying around like an ambassador and showing yourself off. You are in a country and you are a representative of your country in that country. So you have to take statistics of all the Nigerian citizens that are in Sudan.
Although they said earlier that it's 5,500, so maybe they have the.
Okay, so 5,500. Why would you now take priority for women and children? That's when you can prepare everything
yes,
everybody at once. But well,
we see how that goes. Is a developing story. We move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that will be the Vanguard.
On the Vanguard today, the main headline: "Oh, I have no age. Drug record controversy." Atiku replies Tinubu. That story is on page 35. The issue of drug abuse between Atiku and Tinubu, drug peddling and all that, it's been on and on. All the people.
So yes, it's not great. Even before now, they had that issue in the past.
But this is Nigeria. There should be an iota of truth. In responsible countries, people get to resign for such allegations.
That is because we live in Nigeria where people can do things and they get away with it freely as well.
Yes, that's true. And the rider, no Nigerian died in Sudan. The federal government is assuring Nigerians. The story is found on page 9. In the presidential poll, we have "You are biased." Peter Obi replies INEC. He's keen on the fact that INEC is being biased. Now, another rider says commanding officer, soldier, and 15 others killed as header storm Benue community again. That story can be found on page 7. And kidnappers of 29 people in Abuja yet to make contact with relatives, says villagers. Now, one just to wonder, how do you come to a place and kidnap such a large number of persons
and go away with these people?
Go away? What are the security agencies doing? You have checkpoints, you have intelligence.
And that also brings me to the question where we had children being kidnapped from school, especially in some parts of the north, in numbers, in hundreds.
Yes.
I don't know where they go through, the road which they go through, they take these people away from, that nobody gets to see or stop them.
Now they say some people are of the notion that insecurity is a big business for Nigerians. There are a lot of persons who are into insecurity as a business, and they thrive on insecurity. So there should be some kind of collaboration between the security forces. I'm not saying I'm accusing them, but it's amazing how a truck load of students leaves a school, goes on the road, passes through a village, and nobody gets to give any intelligence information to anybody. But this is Nigeria, like you say.
This is Nigeria. A lot of things are happening.
Yeah, I think there's the last rider somewhere here. You see, that's sorry, that's wrong.
And this story as well, they say no Nigerian died in Sudan, federal government, as airlift begins tomorrow. So they are airlifting them. It's going to begin tomorrow. We do hope that they are all safe. We're really hoping that they are safe. And as well, we say there's a story here that says 10th NAS, Tinubu needs Igbo to succeed, says Southwest senators-elect. Court strike at EFCC suit against Governor Yahya Bello, assets for future. Now, these are some of the stories we have coming from Vanguard newspaper. And then we move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that would be the Nigerian Pilot. These are some of the stories we have coming from the Nigerian Pilot this morning. Unlike you, I am drug-free. Atiku replies Tinubu, insists he is drug-free, uncumbered by identity scandals, and says my identity, age, state of origin, educational qualification never been in dispute. Another writer says that Bat is unfit to lead Nigeria, having been inducted for drug-related offenses. And drug-related offenses and forfeited $460,000. Declares that Ashwaju is constitutionally disabled from contesting for office of President of Nigeria. Now, all these are coming from, you have these stories on Nigerian Pilot on page 8, and we can see the throwback at each other coming from Atiku and the president-elect this morning. We also saw a story here, tension in FCT as gunmen adopt 29 persons in Abuja village, and that story is on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says Obi LP presidential candidate says INEC not neutral in 2023 poll. That story is on page 7 of the Nigerian Pilot. And then we also have a story here that says President Court of Appeal relocates Rivers Ebonyi petition, election petition tribunals to Abuja. That story is on page 6 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says NAS gives multi-choice 7 days to reverse price hike. And that story is on page 5. I love that story. You could see the energy I used in taking that headline. We also have a story here that says Delta others need $22 billion to turn around free zone. That story is on page 21 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says Southeast governors Clark, IKYAATOR, Sultan or all need to attend Enugu Unity Summit. And that story is on page 11 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. We also have a story here that says fleeing Adamawa wreck, wrote police, SSS, NSA from hideout as court dismisses Benani's suits. That story is on page 7 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. And we'll have a story here that says armed headsmen kill soldier, 14 others in Benue. That story is on page 5 of the Nigerian Pilot newspaper. NECO reschedules common entrance exam over low registration. Now that story is on page 9. A story that caught my attention here is NAS gives a multi-choice 7 days to reverse price hike. That is a very good move. A lot of people, other countries, they pay per watching. It's what you see, you pay for. But I don't know why here you buy, you recharge your DSTV, and then there is no lights before maybe that period. You will still have to recharge again. I think this is a very
we've been on this
for a long time. I don't know.
That issues where multi-choice is being taken to the House of Assemblies, and they've been cautioned to implement the same thing they do in South Africa, where the company comes from, because they pay as you watch. I can subscribe to your company and there's no light and I'm not watching, and still the bill is running. And if that's not enough, you still get to hike the price again. So I think the Nigerian government should do something about it.
It's really sad.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll go on a quick break. But before that break, I also saw a story here that actually caught my attention. We've seen these issues we're having here, tension in FCT, as gunmen adopt 29 persons in Abuja village. Now, I just really do hope that we saw the other day clashes between people and we're vying for peace. Today again, we're hearing this. I hope the security will be on top of your game, not just here in Abuja, but every other state. And we also saw this shade coming from this drug issue. Like you said, if it were to be in a developed country, you won't have such people in power close to office, let alone being in the office.
You know, the Constitution has stipulated, or the electoral laws are specific on what someone who is ready to contest for election or qualified to contest for election should be or not be. They are the do's and the don'ts of election. So if the law says anyone who has a Boer citizen or anyone who has been convicted for a drug-related offense steps down or doesn't have the right to contest for the president, the law should take its course. The accusations are counter and on and off, but the law of the courts used to be the last resort of a man. But now,
people, I think another thing, Gabriel, I think a lot of people already lost hope in the judiciary, just like they did with INEC coming from this past election, and even the security agencies. See the number of people being killed on a daily basis, talking about Benue State, Kaduna State, and even Nigeria, all over the country. So I think people already lost hope in some of these institutions because they feel like they are not working or they are not meeting the expectations of Nigerians.
Now, on the funny side, people, just like you're saying, people have lost hope in the institutions, and especially the court. Now, someone will say, if you don't like it, go to court. They use it as a mockery. Like,
yes, as a mockery now, yes.
If you don't like it, you go to court. They do something wrong to you and they tell you, you don't like it,
go to court.
And that's how I see it.
Because they know they will, at the end of the day, they will still get away with their evil and nothing. Yes. The court is not even, they feel, a lot of people, I've heard people say they don't have faith any longer when it comes to the judiciary.
Supreme Court used to be the standard, but now,
Anyway, viewers, we'll go on a quick break. I'm going to come back with a guest to discuss some of these very topical and trending issues this morning. And after that, we're going to go back to the reviews of the newspaper. Now, don't go anywhere. Stay with us.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate. For huge extra opportunity in diaspora, look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15 to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 28.
Ladies, are you ready to shine? Here's a golden opportunity for you to show the world the queen in you as the second edition of Face of SRTV Ladies Edition is about to begin. What are you waiting for? Register online with just 500 naira and stand a chance of winning a cash prize of 100,000 naira and the deal of becoming our ambassador. There will also be consolation prizes for second and third place winners. To register, kindly pay the registration fee and send your name, age, picture, and state of origin to this number 0906 895 2170. For more inquiries, please call 0907 400 7816. Powered by SRTV London.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate. For huge extra opportunity in diaspora, look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15 to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814.
Ladies, are you ready to shine? Here's a golden opportunity for you to show the world the queen in you as the second edition of Face of SRTV Ladies Edition is about to begin. What are you waiting for? Register online with just 500 naira and stand a chance of winning a cash prize of 100,000 naira and the deal of becoming our ambassador. There will also be consolation prizes for second and third place winners. To register, kindly pay the registration fee and send your name, age, picture, and state of origin to this number 0906 895 2170. For more inquiries, please call 0907 400 7816. Powered by SRTV London, the face of SRTV. Who takes the crown?
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of art, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate. For huge extra opportunity in diaspora, look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15 to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superiorradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 2856. The Nigerian Week, celebrating the best of Nigeria from the rest.
So welcome back from that quick break. I'm still going to come back with a guest, but let's just continue with the reviews. And this is Wake Up Nigeria. We've been here doing the reviews, newspaper reviews. I'll move on quickly to the next newspaper we have, and that will be coming from The Guardian. Now, these are some of the stories making waves this morning. A subsidy removal Marketers in limbo over implementation. $15.1 billion falls. Demand for fair importation. Now, all the stories are on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper as well. We'll have a story here that says, I am on crumbled by scandal. Atiku replies Tinubu's Syria loser jab. Now, that story is on page 6 of the Guardian newspaper. We also have a story here that says Nigerian has highest number of collapsed building in Africa, says Son DG. I'm going to take that again. Nigerian has highest number of collapsed buildings in Africa, says Son DG, and that story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says deaths, delay, frustration on Lagos Ibadan, endless road repair. Deaths, delay, frustration on Lagos Ibadan, endless road repair. That story is on page 4 of the Guardian newspaper. As well, we have a story here that says Ohando takes delivery of Nigeria's first mass transit electric buses. That story is on page 18 of the Guardian newspaper. We also have a story here that says court strike at EFCC suit against Kogi Governor Yaya Bello over assets for future. Now that story is on page 7 of the Guardian newspaper. Uncertainties trace emergency of new Alafi. That story is on page 7 as well of the Guardian newspaper. Now these are some of the stories we have making waves this morning coming from the Guardian newspaper. I saw a story here, Gabriel, that says this story here that says deaths, delay, frustration on Lagos Ibadan, endless road repair.
The issue of traffic in Lagos has been a nightmare. Even without the road repairs, the traffic in Lagos is serious. So now with the little inconvenience they have to, I call it little because maybe I'm not in Lagos, I'm in Abuja, but the frustration that Lagosians face on the road is much. So if the government wants to make it better for them, they should do it within a short time.
I don't know why this Lagos Ibadan expressway, let's talk about that Lagos Ibadan way. There's something there. I feel like, I don't know, but I don't know why every day you see crashes on that road, deaths, vehicles, people being burned to death. Yes.
It's a major highway.
It's a major highway, and then we have this recurrent accident like in the past 3 months we've seen accidents coming from that particular Lagos Ibadan way for like how many times now? A lot of lives like this, like the caption here said deaths, delay, frustration on Lagos Ibadan, endless road repair. Now, I think that road needs to be completed as a matter of urgency and not just being completed. The fact that a lot of accidents occur in that road, I think there should be
attention to the road. See why. It's happening over and over.
It's one too many in a very short while. So I think it's road safety should be on. There's a way you can be on that road. Then you can push a checkpoint and just put to slow people down, to slow movements, because we can't keep losing lives on daily basis. And then I also saw this story here that says EFCC strike out suit against Kogi Yaya
Governor.
Yes.
Kogi Governor. This is someone who's very outspoken, and in Nigeria, the system is, I don't know, but the system, let me not say what I'm not certain, but the system is how it is. So Yaya Bello is a staunch man, he's a very strong politician, and EFCC have said he is good, so I would say he's good.
Well, let's differ on that, your opinion.
Well, the court is our last resort, and what the court says is what we'll take. We have individual views and what should be, but the Nigerian system, there are times when the Nigerian system does something that an ordinary man will marvel at. Even with his own normal knowledge, like, okay, this can't be.
This can't
but
be.
The system has said and it's legal and it's formal. So what do? We just hope for a better system.
Anyway, we'll take the last newspaper this morning, and that is the Punch Sports Extra this morning. Some of the stories making waves here says, can lightning strike twice? He will be scored the last GAPS winner against Newcastle United last term, and he is primed to lead the Gophers against the Tricky today. Now, that story is on page 7 of the Punch Extra newspaper this morning. We also have a story here that says Shaw injury giving force boss headache. That story is on page 6 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. We saw a story here that say Urban not for sale, Gent. That is coming from Gent, and that story is on page 6 as well of the Punch Extra, Sport Extra this morning. We also have a story here that says I am not Ishak's replacement, Sadiq, and that story is on page 6 of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. And there's a story here that says Collins laments 9-month injury layoff. That story is on page 6 as well of the Punch Sport Extra this morning. Now, these are some of the stories we have coming from.
See that the Nigerians are actually making Nigeria proud out there in the various leagues of the world. If you go to Napoli, Osimhen is like
he's doing well.
He's doing very well. He keeps scoring every other match, and they are just some few points away from picking the league, and he's so excited. Then you see Urban, IKYAATOR, they're all doing very well.
And the one people call Chukwueze, I'm not even
Chukwueze, he's also good. But the thing is, when these Nigerians come back to play for Nigeria, what happens?
It's as if something leaves their body.
Yes, it's like I
think it's something that has to do with the country. You just feel like after all, these people don't take us serious, nothing is working here, so it's like do or die, let me just play and go my way. But when you go to, I think the environment also matters.
Yes.
Now, when you go to states or countries when you know that when you are being paid for a job, you have to deliver the job. Now, the white people will not know whether or not once they see you as capable and they pay you or you are hired, you have to put in your best. Unlike Nigeria, where we've seen while growing up till now, politicians will come into power, they cut away with money, nobody asks them what you're doing. And so as well, the youth are feeling that even if I don't play or I don't play well, I'll still get my money and I'll go my way.
Why they came for the last match at
okay.
qualifiers at the stadium, the lights went out. Does that happen? Where the players come to train, and in the national stadium of a country, the lights go out. Then they have to wait and the lights don't come on, then the training session ends and all that. This kind of issues affect their morale. They don't get to give them their best like they should. But when they go out to the other countries and the other clubs, they give them the best because they know that they are being paid properly. The system works. Most importantly, the system has to work. We hope the Nigerian system gets to work as time goes on, because
we really do hope so.
Every sector, the system is failing.
The institutions are not working. It's only when you have a country where the institutions are working that you see a lot of these sectors picking up and doing what they are supposed to do, the job they are being paid for. But when people get away with the evil they do, others as well will come with the same mindset and feel that I can easily do and get away as well. That is a good place to wrap up the newspaper reviews this morning. We'll go on another quick review. Don't go anywhere now. We'll come back with an analyst to discuss some of these very topical issues. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of arts, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate. For huge extra opportunity in diaspora, look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry of Information and Culture, Trade and Investment, the Nigerian Film Corporation, and host of others will be in attendance. Date 15th to 21st of May 2023. Venue Lighthouse, Camberwell, Southeast London. For details, log on www.superradiotelevision.com/Nigerian Week or call +447 549 513 619 or +234 814 358 2.
Ladies, are you ready to shine? Here's a golden opportunity for you to show the world the queen in you, as the second edition of Face of SRTV Ladies Edition is about to begin. What are you waiting for? Register online with just 500 naira and stand a chance of winning a cash prize of 100,000 naira and the deal of becoming our ambassador. There will also be consolation prizes for second and third place winners. To register, kindly pay the registration fee and send your name, age, picture, and state of origin to this number 0906 895 2170. For more inquiries, please call 0907 400 7816. Powered by SRTV London, the face of SRTV, who takes the crown.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment.
Come back from that quick break. Unfortunately, we're having a little bit of network issues connecting to our guest for the day, but hopefully, just before we wrap up, we're going to have him. Otherwise, we'll bring him on the show tomorrow. Now, I want to discuss some of these issues. We have very topical issues. Now, Gabriel, I want us to discuss on this, unlike here, I'm drug-free. Now, when you see a caption like this, a headline, now this is a country. This is not just a state or one small town. We're talking about a country and people that are supposed to come and lead and represent the country. And then when outsiders see things like this, unlike here, I'm drug-free, what do you think they will perceive of the country?
When it comes to drugs, we know that Nigeria has a lot of youths. There are a lot of children, you have a lot of young people coming up from the very simple grassroots. Now, from the grassroots, we are taught about drugs and the dangers of drugs. And in the curricula of all the schools, drugs are being frowned at. Now, for you to have a glimpse that the president of the country is a drug addict and has been convicted by a court or has been charged or to forfeit some of his assets because of drug trafficking, and with authentic proof of such, it shows that okay, he definitely at one time in his life had links with drugs. And you know how they say, those who are into the psychology tell you that once you get a link with drugs, you don't just cut off easily. It takes a very long time. Now, the people accusing the president-elect of being involved in drugs are not just everyday commoners. There are people who have dug and know the implications of accusing someone of such a caliber of being a drug addict or being involved in drugs. So they know what they are saying. But the laws of the land, if the laws of the land are stipulated that, okay, someone who has been involved in drug trafficking or has links with drugs is not unfit to rule a country like Nigeria, then the law should take its course. But the system is, like we were saying earlier, it's about the system. Now, when the system has been compromised, things cannot be done properly. Ordinarily, in very respectable crimes, like we said before, once they accuse you of something, sometimes you're not even guilty of it. Maybe you just have a little link to it, and you honorably step away and step down. But this is Africa.
But let's not forget also that these charges, this accusation, are not even coming from the country alone. Other countries, it has been linked with other countries like the US.
Yes.
And I think a country, a state such as US will not come up with unsure stories,
it's not confirmed stories. They will not. Now, the system in the US is such that the bill of information is there. You can just go to any office, go to anywhere and search for information regarding anybody, even if it's
there's access to information.
Yes,
unlike Nigerians where we don't, even the press, we don't have access to information.
Yes, there was a time the Freedom of Information Bill, I don't know if it has been passed, but there was a time the assembly pushed for it. And
even at that, we do have access to it. We live in a country where politicians have a lot of shady things they do, and they feel like any little pry will come and expose them. So they tend to guard, and that is why they guard the press. They don't allow you. They only want you to see the things they want you to see. Now, behind closed doors, they won't want you to see a lot of things. They deny you access to information. And I am thinking that there is no way that a same country will see such a headline and still go ahead with it. And they are supposed to look at this critically, the institution, in details to be sure that there is no such charges against him anywhere. Anyway, and then we saw a story here as well that says this Sudan crisis, we spoke about it before. Now, I feel like when it comes to the masses, the citizens, like you said, the people in power, they don't know what they're doing. Because we saw last week, we saw a lot of countries going to Sudan to evacuate their citizens. And as of yesterday, we just started yesterday, and we are still having this the whole thing is so sluggish, it's so slow.
There's something about Nigeria. We always wait till the dying minute. Always we wait till the news or the issue has been blown to the public to show how inefficient they are. Then they come in with an action just to justify the fact that they've been exposed. The government should be proactive. The moment the crisis started.
And that brings me, I was asking one of my co-hosts the other day, is it that we don't have institution for such emergency cases like this, where immediately you just I think we'll have the commissioner or for who is in charge of the diaspora.
Yes, Nigerians in diaspora.
That would be the person of the GABRIEL. So I don't know why we have these meetings upon meetings. At this point, are we supposed to be having meetings, or you just go, you respond to the call? Yes. People are in distress. They are under pressure there. They are in duress there. And then you don't come and be having meetings. At this point, these are things you're supposed to, you make provision for this. In case of emergency in the diaspora, we react quickly. And later you can come and tell us the details, how you reacted.
Don't set committees on how to evacuate someone who's in the crisis-torn place where bullets are going about. Bombs like
that was what we read yesterday. Right. Nigerians were lamenting, crying that they could hear bullets, the sound of bomb blast and all that.
I watched the clip where the US government took a decision decisively and had to send the planes that it came in, and they evacuated most of the US citizens, especially in the embassy. It was a swift action.
Now, swift action. Why are we not having things like this in the country done?
You would know that in Nigeria we've lost. Let's not even look at the diaspora. In Nigeria we've lost a lot of lives.
What am I even saying? Look at Benue here. They are not able to. Yes.
So what talk of someone that's outside the country? If the ones that are within the country where you can take swift security actions, they are being delayed. Not to talk of the international crisis and issues that are outside the country. But I just know Nigeria.
And also sometimes too we speak on Sudan. Is Sudan even a country? I heard one of our hosts, Ernest, say that is that supposed to be a country when we Nigerians go to education or anything?
You know, Sudan is a country, and most times people go to countries where the system works a little. Nigerians
more than Nigeria.
Anywhere they can get to.
Yes.
Once they know that the system works, like Nigerians are everywhere in the world. Why? Because the system of Nigeria is not working.
Has failed.
So the slightest opportunity they get to leave the country, regardless of where, they just go, hoping that it will be better.
It's really sad, and we do hope as well that the institution and of course they will work and let this evacuation. We're saying that they say that they will start lifting tomorrow. They should do that, because out of 5,500 and we've just been able to evacuate 750. That is quite low, if you ask me.
And with the costs, the contingency, they say it was 1 point something.
Don't worry, now you'll be hearing money. You hear so much for this evacuation
amount.
Yes, but you are not quick to respond. Yeah, the action is not there. And also, there's a story I want to talk on here. This presidential poll, we'll be having this story back at each other article. And one thing about Obi as well. Now, Obi is feeling that INEC is biased because he feels that he is standing with the president-elect. Yes. And I've seen a lot of issues come up on this. I will always say this election, I've been able opportunity to cover like 3 presidential elections in this town. And I would say this particular one actually opened our eyes to a lot of things. Yes, change the narratives for us to youth. But I am thinking also that, Obi as a person and the party he represents is a party that a lot of youth have been able to identify with this period. So I'm thinking that they should not, they should leave for the judiciary, even though a lot of people already are losing faith in the judiciary. We should wait for them.
Nigeria is a country where everything goes. I hate to say this because I'm a Nigerian, but it's the truth.
It's the fact.
Now, before the elections, we had this assurance. The youths have participated in this election to a very large extent. The number of persons, the political interest was so much. Now we came out and we voted, and we hoped that our vote will count. Now it's glaring that the issue of political manipulations happened in the presidential election. Everybody saw it. Everybody saw it. Now, how will you explain the fact that the House of Assembly or the House of Rep results were uploaded without issues, but that of the presidential elections had issues? And subsequently, when they were uploaded, you could see cancellations. Like even you go to a primary school class, the teacher would not admit any result or result sheet of someone who has so much cancellations. But they were accepted, and now the issue is go to court. The president-elect is saying go to court. He's quick to say go to court because he has some kind of structures that I don't know. I don't want to preempt.
Yes, I understand, and that is why we saw also that Benani, the reg just came and announced Benani. And do you know that that man is still on the run? So it's only in Nigeria you hear things like this. Somebody who did a grievous mistake who is nowhere to be found, like the news the other day that he's on the run. How come?
These men know what the law is. They know what to do. Now, for the rec in Adamawa to have the guts and the confidence to go on air and announce a result in favor of someone when the collation process is still ongoing. Now, that goes to see that now he's on the run. Now, Nigeria is a country where they think everything goes, after some time, you hear that, okay, another news will come up, something will come up, and they will forget about that one. He has the backing of some powers that be, as the case may be. But these issues keep coming up over and over and over, and we hope that.
And we also saw here that Benani withdraws court void suits against INEC. And another thing is that a lot of people actually clamoring for this woman in love, but because of that acceptance speech she did, just running quickly to come and give that speech, that actually make a lot of people now came out of the opinion that she's desperate and there was something really fishy. And
we have made history for the first female to be the governor in any of the states in Nigeria, and that was what was people were agitated and happy. I personally thought that she was on the right track, and I would love to have a woman.
The moment I saw that speech, even before the previous, I think that was during the weekend. In fact, I came to the office. I already said it that I saw, when I looked at that, when I watched it very well, I saw desperation. That was what I saw. And that was a good place today to wrap up the show. And we also saw here vaccines for malaria treatment now accessible. We are really happy because something, like the doctor said the other day, Nigeria is a country that is prone to malaria. There's nothing you can do about it. It's just for you to take measures, preventive measures here and there, and stay. We make sure your environments are clean. You also have nets and close your doors or your windows, because we live in a country where we have a lot of water and bushes and all that. So that is the only thing you can do to prevent yourself. Now that's and we also appeal to security agencies. The killings from Benue, it's horrifying. I don't know whether we still have people in Benue State.
People are there.
That is your state, right, Gabriel?
We've heard these stories over and over, and there are counter accusations. There are some kind of mystery accusations of political involvement and all that, but we are not certain. All we want is that the killings should stop, because the lives of many people matter, and the security agencies at the state level and at the federal level have.
Do you know, I had a guest on the show some days ago that said that, do you know that the security agencies are supposed to be safeguarding the people? Now they are not liaising with the headers, with those people to come and perpetrate evil.
And the issue is, what do you want? Do you want land for grazing? If you want land for grazing, the governor has told you that we do not have land for grazing. But if you insist, it can allow you to
have a portion.
We're in the 21st century, for crying out loud. You don't go out moving with cattle all over the streets. But if I was wearing pigs and I let my pigs all over the streets, or you're wearing cows or goats and you let them all over the streets, the whole place will be a mess. So just get the modern standards of rearing cattle. Get a ranch, get your straw and plant your grass, as the case may be, and they will feed. Get your veterinary doctors to come check on them from time to time, and let's If this is Abuja and you go to the roads and you still see cows on the road.
Just yesterday on my way home, in front of Sharia court, I saw them. I had to wait. We had to wait. All the passerbys had to wait because there were so many in numbers. We had to wait for a long time. Yes,
Of Nigeria.
it's really sad, and we do feel for people in the state. Talking about Benue, Kaduna, and Niger to be precise. I feel for them. I don't know how they are coping, what they're doing. Some have fled their ancestral home. The other day we saw on the news too that 31 community are now robust when you come to Benue State, because they brought down every structure and everywhere is now just empty. No human beings, nothing is standing.
And it always happens during the rainy season.
When
the crops or the grass start to grow. And
now Benue used to be, Benue is still the food basket of the nation, but we don't, as of today, we don't even know how that is working because yes,
of the crisis.
It's really sad. We do hope that the security agencies are going to do something, because this is really horrifying. There is no day we sit here and we don't talk about killings, people being kidnapped or people being adopted. That is a good place as well to wrap up the show today. We're sorry that we couldn't bring in the guest. We're having a little bit of network issues, but hopefully we're going to have a guest on the show. Thank you so much, Gabriel, for being part of the show. It's been a fun ride with you this morning. And viewers, just before we go, don't forget our Nigerian Week London. Now, we're just counting days to that event. You would want to be part of that event. Don't forget, we have a lot of agencies, ministries are partnering with us, as well as the entertainment industries. We have a lot of actors and musicians coming on board. And so please book your stand, buy your tickets, and be part of that event. It's going to be colorful. You know, I think when Nigerians will turn up, we're going to show the world what Nigeria is made of. Please be part of that event. We're going to have a lot of food, music, film, and of course, we're going to have the business seminars, opportunities here and there. We'll come not just from Nigeria, we have people coming from all over the world. They are going to attend that event. So you will want to be part of it, and of course, get yourself acquainted with a lot of business people and of course international stars as well. And just before we go as well, don't forget to drive carefully while you are out there. Please obey the traffic laws, and of course stay safe, be at alert as well. And before we go as well, hit on the notification bell, like our page, of course invite somebody as well to the page, because we have a lot of interesting activities here going on SR TV. Hopefully we'll do this again tomorrow. I remain yours truly, Princess KESSY.
I am GABRIEL, IKYAATOR.
And remember, peace is priceless, so let's give peace a chance. See you tomorrow.
RTV London, in partnership with NTA TV Enterprise, present the maiden edition of the Nigerian Week in the capital of the world, London. A wonderful blend of entertainment, business, and networking, displaying a wide range of arts, national cash crops, financial products and services, and real estate for huge extra opportunity in diaspora. Look no further. The 36 states of the Federation, the Federal Ministry